Hi, my name is Bobbye Brooks. I am one of the co-founders of Media for Women Enterprises, and I'm here today with the other co-founder, Tonilee Adamson, to introduce to you and really to launch our brand new program called Real Issues, Real Answers. And we're excited to kind of give you some information about the show and what we're going to be talking about and discussing, as well as some of the topics. I think you're going to find it interesting, to say the least. And so we wanted to start today with giving you a little bit of information about our background and what you're going to find out from tuning in and watching the program.
Bobbye and I have been friends for 11 years, and we've had a women's platform, a women's speaking platform, for around that period of time, around 9 years together. And through the various speaking engagements and also all the wonderful people that we have met, we have found that many times people know the right answer of what they should have done or the decisions they should have made, but now they're in a place that they need the real answer of how to go forward. So Real Issues, Real Answers is really about learning skills, learning things to have hope in your life, to get out of bed and to keep moving forward in a positive direction.
The program is going to focus on topics that are relevant. So a lot of what we're going to be sharing, whether it's topics we're kind of picking out of the newspaper or what we've seen, but also bringing in guests, bringing in other people to share with you real answers. So it isn't just what we say the right answer should be, but really real answers that they can apply to their lives. So whenever there's a problem, whether it's relationship or it's health or it's finance or it's what do I do with this thing here called the iPad? You know, when my kids are on it all the time, but I really don't even know how to use Facebook.
Or texting. We were at the airport last week, and a gal said to me, and she worked right there at the airport on the computer, and she said, "Oh, what kind of phone do you have?" And I was saying it was a BlackBerry, and she said, "Well, you know, I don't even know how to text yet, but it seems like such a great thing to do. I'm just too fearful." So we want to address a lot of things that are changing today in the economy. The world is moving quickly, but it's also become smaller with the internet, that we want to address certain things like the iPad, like should I learn to text? Yes. You know, for the whole younger generation in communication, yes. So we're going to address those things too.
One of the first things that we'll probably do on the show is talk about the power of social media. Not from just the perspective that everybody's talking about social media, but how can social media impact your life, regardless of whether or not you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a businessman or a business professional in running a corporation. I mean, social media is impacting every area of our lives. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about issues that sometimes aren't just fun or challenging, but really cutting edge. Some of the topics are, I think, considered taboo even in some places, but that's what we want to get into. The show is going to be a little bit provocative and edgy at times, and more, I hate to say controversial, but some of the topics are controversial. When you think about real issues, real answers, it doesn't always fit in our perfect little box.
Right, and Bobbye and I don't always agree. And so we will have issues that we're even going to come at from very different perspectives and different viewpoints, which is what life is about. So you talk about politics, well, that's going to bring up some controversial issues and not necessarily things that everyone's going to agree on. But why not talk about it?
I don't really want to talk about politics. We're getting into the politics season. Oh my goodness. You know, I actually was reading, honestly, yesterday about the proposed spending for political ads on television. In the last presidential election, there was about $1 billion spent on ads.
Oh.
That was a record amount of money, right? This time, $2.5 to $3 billion is being projected to be spent on television ads for this presidential campaign in 2012. That is double, if not triple, the amount of money in the last campaign in 4 years. That is unbelievable. I mean, here we are in the middle of a recession that is one of the worst in history.
And all we're doing is talking about money with stock markets and everything else. And now the candidates who supposedly have the answers
are raising multi-million-dollar budgets to fund their campaigns. And
Right.
literally, that money is the $3 billion is only for television ads. That doesn't count all the other money going into a campaign. You know, that in itself we could spend a whole show talking about, because there's a lot of people today, as we're seeing with the things going on Wall Street and that Occupy Wall Street movement that's happening all over the country. You know, American people, citizens, are getting tired of watching a lot of money flow into places that are not doing a thing to help us in the job area or in actually helping the American family.
Well,
so it's a hot topic.
We want the money to flow into our own homes. We want the money to flow into our own pockets, and we really do want real answers to get out of this problem,
right.
Not just promises that don't lead us anywhere.
Yeah, so you kind of get an idea of the flavor of the show, because basically every week we're going to start with a topic and address that topic from something very relevant that's happening in our society, and most of you will be aware of it, and we may bring up some things that you're not aware of. And in addition to that, there will either be a guest or someone coming in with us, or a discussion, maybe it's a video feed, something even a little bit entertaining at times, to really give you, the viewer, maybe some options if it's an issue in your life, how you might apply an answer. Okay, so it's real issues, but it's also real answers. And we're looking forward to it, because we know there's so many things we can talk about. And one of the things we wanted to ask the audience is if they have topics they would like to send in to us.
Right, we would love to hear from you. You could go to mediaforwomen.com, go right to the contact page, and we would love to hear the topics you want us to talk about and the guest speakers that you would like us to have. I also want to just give you a little bit of a hint about both of us. I have a medical background. I'm a registered nurse, so you're going to see that I bring up a lot of things that have to do with our health and those kind of real issues. And Bobbye has a very strong business background, so she will always probably take a position of more economic and financial platform.
Well, we've been friends for about 10 plus years now. We have very different personalities in some respects, similar in others, different backgrounds. I had someone this morning, we actually met one of the band members of the original Guns N' Roses band, okay? So we are 80s kids, okay? We were in high school and college in the 80s. And then into the 90s and our early 20s, right? And I remember Guns N' Roses very well as a band, okay? And so we're in the green room doing a television interview, and he's in the green room with us, him and his wife.
Well, he wasn't even in the green room yet. He was in the hall.
I saw him.
I went, oh, I know you. It was so funny.
I said, oh, you're from Def Leppard. He goes, no.
No.
I'm thinking, oh, bad move. He's from Guns N' Roses. But the funny thing was, I mean, as we were talking with him and everything, he was actually kind of a cool guy, really sharing about his life and how his life had changed. And he's got a book coming out. And, you know, those are things that just in real life, everyday stuff, that's kind of cool whenever you can look back and cross paths with people that from your past in some way.
And I appreciated his television interview because he was up right before us. And he was very honest and transparent about how when he was 18 years old, he would never have thought he would have ended up as a drug addict and alcoholic. And he said by 30 years old, his life had been completely destroyed by chemicals and
major, you know,
right. But you appreciate really
right.
hearing the inside story about that, because you see it as, oh, you attained your goals in life.
Right.
You were only in your 20s, and it was good.
So anyway, as Todd, I've lost my feed to you, so I don't know if you're trying to talk to me or not. But since we're doing a test on the show, if you're watching the show and this is on the Wazillo Media channel, we definitely encourage you and invite you to tune in to Real Issues, Real Answers right here on Wazillo Media. We are having a great time. And another thing, too, there's going to be the WazilloMedia.com website. Right there at WazilloMedia.com, there's Real Issues, Real Answers. We have our own little web portal. So if you want to contact us through this as you're watching the shows or watching the archive shows, this is a great place for you to send us an email about topics. So we want topics, we want people, those of you out there that maybe need an interview or would love to be interviewed or have some way of contributing to the show, we would definitely love to have you be a part of it. And there's going to be a Real Issues, Real Answers website actually that's coming up today, tomorrow.
Right, real soon. Because we're having an event in Point Loma, Nazarene University in San Diego. It's our 7th annual Women's Conference. And we would love to have you there. So we're launching our website,
Right.
realissues-realanswers.com.
A lot happening. So definitely stay in touch with us. Again, we want to thank you for tuning in just for this short segment to introduce Real Issues, Real Answers right here on Mozilla Media. We do look forward to hearing from you. And we are starting November 2nd, live and in living color. Okay? So again, I'm Bobbye Brooks.
I'm Tonilee Adamson.
From Media for Women. And we look forward to seeing you very soon right here on Real Issues, Real Answers with Bobbye and Tonilee.